I'm Doug Boyle for SalesLabs. We have with us today Rick Terry, whose career I've followed with great interest over the last 15 years as he's worked from small to medium-sized companies, and now is working as a team coach and evangelist for one of the most respected and largest companies on the planet. Rick, welcome.
Thank you, Doug.
Let's say you've been promoted from sales rep to sales manager. What are the traps that you can fall into?
Oh, there's lots of those. I think the key one is always trying to prove that you're still a great salesman. And sales managers who want to muscle in on the deal, show that they know how to close this deal, and pushing their own salesman out of the way, still trying to be a super salesman, would be a classic example of that. And another is that managing the deal as a sales manager, they tend up to try and manage the salesman's deals for them in the way they manage their own deals. So they would keep a close tab on a deal. That's great. They would want to be able to manage it through a process. But they now take that and aggregate it up to all of the deals, and that becomes micromanagement. The phrase I would use is they're spending a lot of time weighing the pig rather than feeding the pig. When you're weighing the pig, you want to see how much it weighs. What's this deal? How much is it worth? And when's it coming in? Well, that's great, but what a salesman really needs is he needs you to help him feed the pig so that it gets heavier. So he wants you to say, how can I help you to close this deal? What is it that we need to do to bring resources to help you get this deal closer? And so what they're looking for is support from the sales manager, not questions from the sales manager about their technique. They don't need to be asked those questions. They know where they're strong and weak. What they need is help to get past obstacles in their way, help to be able to close a deal. So help them to feed the pig, not just weigh it.
Should a newly promoted manager cut the ties with those who previously were peers and not worry about being popular?
One of the challenges for sales guys that become sales managers is they don't know how to cross that divide and to become a manager. One of the best sales guys I ever met, Carl, was an excellent salesman and never wanted to be a sales manager because he knew he couldn't manage people. He managed deals because deals are things. And he wasn't a very good mentor. He wasn't good at transferring his skills to other people. All he wanted to do was sell. And Carl sold very well. Don't promote necessarily your best salespeople to be managers just because you think that's what they want or that's what will be best for the business. Ensure that you're managing your people correctly. By the same token, I've seen guys who've been mediocre salesmen be fantastic sales managers because they know how to mentor people rather than just managing things.
Oftentimes, the things that were strengths for you as a salesperson could become a liability as a sales manager. Can you comment on that?
Most salespeople at heart are showmen. They like being center stage, and you have to take a bit of a back seat, particularly when you're on sales calls. And that can be difficult sometimes for the salesman turned sales manager. He wants, the lights are on, the camera's rolling, it's action. He wants to be center stage, where he should take that back seat, let his salesperson lead the conversations, lead the discussions. One of the classic things is, being able to leverage his discount capability or whatever. I think it's good if you can hold that in abeyance and then make sure it comes back through the sales rep. Help the representative of the company represent himself and the company. Don't make him redundant by doing the job for him.
Rick, as I'm thinking about my own experience, when I was working for IBM years ago, we brought in a group of first, second, and third level managers. And we were talking about distilling down into its purest form what the job of a manager is. And we probably had 25 or 30 different entries on the whiteboard. We finally distilled those down to two things: manage today's business, mentor, create and develop tomorrow's leaders. Can you comment on the difference between managing the business and mentoring the people in your perspective?
Yeah, I think I would make sure that as part of that you were thinking about succession planning. So mentoring the people, you should be mentoring the sales guys that want to be sales guys to be better sales guys, but also looking for those who have that capability to make that next step up to sales management, to make sure that you're keeping them on track and giving them the extra coaching that they would need to develop those skills. And the managing of the day-to-day business is a fundamental part of what is happening from above. The business is asking you to weigh that pig rather than feed that pig. I think the other aspect of that is that where you have to manage upwards as well. And you need to be able to be providing to your manager the information that he needs, but also giving him the information on the team below, because none of us know where we're going to be career-wise moving forwards. And we need to make sure that not only are we being pulled up the organisation by our managers, but the good people we see below us are also being promoted as well. So we need to make sure that we're highlighting the good people to the people above us so that they can be spread throughout the organisation. One of the key elements, and it's a tough thing to have to do as a salesman, a sales manager rather, is to refer one of your salesmen to somebody else's sales management role. Losing a good sales guy out of your own team, why would you want to do that? Well, because you recognise that he is, for the benefit of the business and for the benefit of his personal career, he needs to be in a sales management role somewhere else. That's a tough decision to make, but a good sales manager will make that decision